Hello everybody and welcome back to Back Out of the Case. This is Skyflight 44, aka Sect 44, and today we're going to continue to play some more Donkey Kong Land 2. Now actually, Arctic Abyss, probably my second favorite theme or third favorite theme in the entire game. I've always enjoyed this track. It's again, a lot of the more calming tracks are probably my favorite, and Donkey Kong Country 2. And in this game as well, and those include stuff like Sticky Branch Symphony, the Arctic Abyss level, that theme, Bayou Boogie and shit. All of these are just wonderful tracks, and I had to have said it at least once. Donkey Kong Country 2 is definitely within my top 5 soundtracks of all time when it comes to video game soundtracks, at least. Absolutely amazing. But with the Arctic Abyss levels, the second one is a lot of fun. Basically, what you actually do, it's all about abusing the ice physics. Actually, when you're going and sliding on the ice. The big thing is, it's kind of like that other level in which we were going and doing with Clapper. Clapper's another animal buddy that you don't really ride. It was the one in which the water was lava, and you had to hit Clapper to turn it into regular water. Then, in this, well, not this one, but the next one we're going to be with Clapper. You jump on him, and he turns the water into ice. Obviously, Clapper is one fucking weird-ass shaman-type seal, but I love him. He's a magical seal. Very, very much a magical seal. But, the big thing about this world is what we're going to be finding out is the actual, the castle, the keep levels. The main levels of K. Rool's Keep. Chain Link Chamber, Toxic Tower, all these levels are absolutely brutal. Have one of the most memorable castle themes that's ever been in a platformer, really. When you go to Super Mario World hacks, you will hear that theme constantly. And I can see why. But, we have the last windy level. Well, the last actual mineshaft level. And pretty much either the mineshaft levels are going to be the ones to screw you over when it comes to when you fall far enough, you're dead thing. It's not a problem here. The main race levels might do that to you if you're stupid or if you're just unlucky. But the only one you really have to worry about that with is coming up soon in the next video with the last ice level. Ugh. I like playing it, but I had to hold myself back. The inner, I'm not gonna say the inner, speedrunner, but the inner gamer in me wants to go as fast as possible in that level, especially when I know it's coming. But doing so is gonna get you killed in that level. That's one of the only problems with the game. And again, Donkey Kong Land 3 completely averts it. Apparently, the Game Boy Color version is supposed to do that, but I never had that problem when I was playing the actual regular levels, because I fell a shitload when it came to that. I believe it was level 4-2. It was the second, the waterfall stage, or the earliest waterfall stage, and the fourth world. Fucking ridiculous, that one is. That one, definitely, that one and the level after it took me just as long, if not a little bit shorter, than Slime Climb and Bramble Scramble. But oh well, those fuckers took me a long time to actually go through. Though they were in between Bramble Scramble and Slime Climb when it came to frustration. Anyway, between those and that second cloud level in Donkey Kong Land when it came to recording, just because, well, they weren't all that bad. They didn't piss me off, but the levels were so long and there was so much to remember, to get. Damn. Now you can, when you're in this level, jump from one side to the other and actually, well, not jump from one side to the other, but jump from one platform to the next platform and actually jump on those mice. I forgot what they were called. I think they're snakes or something. Maybe that's the one in the next game. But trying to jump on them is finicky. You can very well get yourself killed there, you can get yourself hit there, and they're also pretty small platforms, so trying to jump on the platform, then jump on it, takes some good timing. Now, this level, as you can probably tell, it's supposed to be the big final level, or the final level trope, before the very end of the game. The main game, not, barring the Lost World. And it's so much fun. The platforming in this one's really difficult. That is one thing I do like about Donkey Kong Land 2. It's another improvement over Donkey Kong Land 1. It's that Donkey Kong Land 2 actually has the textures, the assets for the levels are a lot less muddy. There's still muddy textures like, what you're looking at right now, but generally the background is a easy color to tell apart from, in which, even though the platforms might be a little bit muddy looking, the actual background is quite easy to tell apart what are enemies, what you're doing, where are you in the level. That is a bit harder for you to do in Donkey Kong Land 1. And in certain levels in Donkey Kong Land 3, the problem returns with a vengeance. Fuck you, waterfall stages. Oh. But, oh well. Now, when it comes to the and actually, now that I think about it, there's only one theme you haven't seen yet then, and that's the jungle theme, which the jungle levels are actually relatively easy and very much like the swamp levels, are probably some of my favorite levels in the entire game. And it's probably, well, the difference between the two in reality is just one's far harder than the other, but they generally have a lot of the same kind of platforming, a lot of precise platforming. This is a precision platformer, but oh well. Another thing I wanted to go and talk about when it came to this game was just bosses and the Donkey Kong Land series. The bosses in the original actual Donkey Kong Land game kind of sucked a little bit. I never really found myself hating them, and the only big one I can think of that was a lot of fun was, well, K. Rool. K. Rool definitely was a bit harder than all the other ones. In this game, I'm going to say the bosses themselves are relatively fun. Some of them are boring, but the final boss just beats everything else. When we actually get to the final boss, I'll definitely tell you why, but I've always thought that Rare made good final bosses. The type of final boss Rare has is unlike a lot of the earlier bosses, takes a lot of hits to go and take out. They don't just do one thing. they have multiple patterns that they'll start going through. And they don't ever stop getting harder. And don't ever stop adding new attacks and new things to do. It's a final boss in a good rare game always continues to bring out more and more without making the actual boss stale, even though it's generally a long actual boss. Granted, this doesn't fit with Conker's Bad Fur Day, but then again, even though Conker's Bad Fur Day is a great game, I'm going to be tearing it a new asshole, to be honest, when it comes to gameplay. Whenever I get to that, still a wonderful game, but I'm going to be ripping it apart whenever I get to that. And there's the G. Oh well. I wonder how many lives I would have if there was an actual numerical value for the lives instead of just the hearts. Which, I think they just... I wonder why they actually made the menu very much like this. Just because maybe it has something to do with showing the health, and basically showing that you actually have Diddy and or Dixie around with you. And so they couldn't have something like transparent because it's a Game Boy game. There's some things that may not be possible, but because they had to put something down there, they also had the names and all that. So I guess they just put, lives there, I guess? I think it could have been done with just a numerical value, though. Or maybe the memory was a big thing. Because, getting to higher numbers would be a bit worse when it comes to the memory. But, this actual level is probably one of my favorite levels in this world. Just because it was difficult to do without necessarily being dickish. Toxic Tower is a bit more on the dickish side when it comes to just being difficult. Because again, it's like Slime Climb. You're bracing against the slime. And it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. But there's actually a lot of bonus stages in this one. And when it comes to Donkey Kong Land 3, very much like Donkey Kong Country 3, they standardized everything. Donkey Kong Land 2 and Donkey Kong Country 2 made bonus stages and DK coins mandatory, kind of, to finish the game. But, or at least they made them worthwhile to go after. Because, you want to get to the Lost World. But going for, actually, Donkey Kong Land 2 and Donkey Kong Country 2 don't really have any standards, or every single level, it doesn't necessarily have to have a bonus stage. Every single level does have a bonus stage, but some of them might have 3, some of them might have 1, and shit like that. And it just makes it so that Donkey Kong Land 2 makes every single one of them have, 2 actual bonus stages, 1 DK coin, and the 4 Kong ladders. And it just makes it so you're not wondering how many bonus stages are in this level before, you find out that, hey, I got them all. You always know that there's 2 in those games. Yeah, no, this is going to get harder and harder. Though, it wasn't too bad. It could have gotten worse. You have to go and see some of the shit from, actually, to be honest, I thought Screech's Sprint was going to be a bit worse, but that didn't actually get as bad as I thought it was going to be. Right here, though, the Rattly bit on this one is brutal. The squitter one is pretty standard squitter ship. You know, just get from one side, and this time it's a vertical climb, so if you fall, you know, you fall. But the Rattly one, Rattly's a bit more unwieldy. I love using Rattly because I just like the fact that he can do what the Kongs can't do, in which it's all about how high you can go. You can go really high. But one of the problems I have with this stage, and you know, just Rattly being very unwieldy in this game, is just right there. The very end of the platform isn't necessarily the end of its graphic. The hitbox for the collision detection when it comes to these platforms aren't necessarily the best, but oh well. So I think there's a Squawks one here. Squawks was basically me just abusing the fact that the graphic for the actual the graphics used for all the platforms and walls are actually really easy to just stay in because of how the collision hitbox is a bit smaller than the actual thing itself. And thus, you can easily bypass not everything, but most everything in this actual level when it comes to Squawks. So it's rather easy. But I think this is the final level we actually have to do. Or did we... Yeah, we did do the second Arctic level, which means we just have the final boss and Screech's Sprint. And Screech's Sprint's really easy when it comes to this game. When it comes to Screech, he really doesn't go as fast as I thought he would. And if you go pretty fast, he won't catch up. So there are times when, yes, you can prove to be a little bit slow before, you know, you can be cautious at least. Oh, I missed another one up. But this isn't supposed to be perfect. And I did and tried to do only what I set out to do. And that was no hit run, going along, getting all the Kong letters, getting all the bonus stages, doing all the levels, getting all the DK coins, all that. Didn't need to show every single secret off. Which is one of the reasons why I didn't go after every single warp point that's surely in this game. Ah, Screech's Sprint. Now we get the... Actually, that was one thing that I remember. Screech's Sprint music is used in this one. At least an 8-bit rendition of it. But it doesn't actually stay as the Sticker Brush Symphony music, which makes me... I kind of wish they would have... Granted, it would have been another one of those times which I feel it's not necessarily a lost, you know, cause. What am I trying to think of? It's kind of a bit of lost potential when it comes to having some of these music tracks just be left out. But Screech's Sprint being used once, I would have at least liked it to be used in the Ramby section of the that Hornet level that Ramby was in, the very last Hornet level. Actually, wait, second to last Hornet level. The last one was the parachuting one with the Quacks. But, oh well. Get me right here, if I remember correctly. Okay. Get right up here. Right here. To be honest, I was really wondering if there was going to be a... if there was going to actually be a race. Because this, again, I like seeing the Game Boy be pushed to its... to what... as much as the Game Boy can offer. I like just seeing these lesser systems do something like that. Which is actually what Nintendo's always been doing with its stuff. Always, you know, get enough power that you can do what you want to do and then still make it cheap enough that people aren't going to be, you know, too disheartened if something goes flop, like something like on the PS Vita. One of the reasons why PS Vita doesn't attract too many developers is not just how many people actually own it, but just the higher power means more. It's going to cost more to make a game on that system, or to utilize that power, it's going to cost more, and thus, risk versus reward. What are you going to do? But oh well. I think this music would have gone pretty well when it came to the Ramby section of Ramby Rumble, I believe it was called. But oh well. That little area I went by was a little secret passage. That would have been a shortcut at the very end if you were still in trouble. I wasn't, and I wasn't taking the risk of getting hit. But oh well. K. Rool Duel. This is an amazing boss fight. And I just love everything that happens in it. Now, he will start out just throwing, well, shooting out all of these actual shots, all these cannonballs, and then he'll start going and get the barrel, jump on the barrel, go and throw the actual, go and throw that stupid cannonball back in. And that's about it. But then he'll start getting faster and faster. And then he'll start going and doing other shit too. It becomes quite an interesting fight here. And it's just, I think you have to go 9 actual hits before you actually, you know, falls finally. But this is one of my favorite final bosses in a, especially in platforming. It's one of my favorite bosses in the on the Game Boy. My favorite final boss on the Game Boy probably is King Dedede. I love King Dedede and the original Kirby's Dream Land. Oh, it's just 6. It was implied that Donkey Kong kicked his ass and knocked him right out. That's satisfying. But oh well. We beat Yoshi, but Mario's still a prick at 39. Don't worry, we'll be up to 40 soon. And I did go, and I don't know if the credits was there, but if the credits was supposed to be there, I put it at the very end. So, in the next part, we're going to be doing the Lost World. Lost World isn't going to be all that difficult either. Though it is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. You do have to go to the world map to go into it, though. Alright. See you, Clubber. Next time, Lost World. I